Good afternoon, everyone. France bracing winter electric shortages. First time in a decade, they're net importers of electricity. CPI inflation running over 10% in the UK. Germany producer prices 37.2%. That's an economy destroying. Oh wait, German-French electric prices highest ever recorded. Oh, what a difference a year makes in electric prices. 4x. Hungary easing logging so you can have wood to heat your home this winter. Should we talk about wireless street lights and ancient history? I think we should. Wireless power, can't have that. Charge a car when there's not enough electric. We've entered the oblivion stage, and this is how our world will view it. I'm going to start over here in France, bracing for winter electricity shortages. Controlled blackouts, rolling brownouts, whatever you like to term it, it means power gets cut off or reduced. There would be more electricity if there were less 5G towers. We have enough connectivity with 4G on our mobile phones. Adding that extra pull is going to be traumatic for the grid. Also, first time in a decade since we can measure it, since records began, France turned into a net importer of electricity for the first time. Nuclear struggling. Maybe you need to turn back on the gas and the coal plants again to help that. And since we are in France, let's jump over to the original design of Eiffel Tower on the right and its purpose to possibly, just saying, Tartarian style, collect free energy, as many other buildings with supposedly antenna on the top. Lightning rods, if you will. Left side, Eiffel Tower in front of, is that a wireless powered street light? Indeed it is. Here's a drawing of a cordless street lamp from the early 1900s. Cordless means it's pulling from the ether. One type of electric method used etheric electricity. That's all around us all the time. Let's look into it. How does it work? On the left for you electricians and electrical engineers, let's build one of these. On the right, working model. Those things were destroyed after the Great War. And it seems like a lot of ancient history encodes some of these same devices. It's really quirky how all this works. Especially if you flip and reverse and mirror objects, you find something very similar. This etheric energy needs to be explored more. It was talked about heavily in the early 1900s, but right now we can only burn stuff to make stuff spin. Forget this wireless power thing. It doesn't work with the electricity, it only works with 5G. If we can't put a meter on it, you're done. And here's the thing, looking back in history, a lot of inventions and things that we've seen, there's prototypes, there's designs, there's 50 different tries by different inventors, and then it's proven that it doesn't work. Now, if we roll back to these etheric energy devices, sometimes known as Tesla devices, wireless transmission pulling from the ether, we see the prototypes, we see the working devices, but we don't see that landscape of innumerable tries in different fashions to create and replicate the same, and then it didn't work, so we don't use it anymore. We're straight at the, it still functions, but we haven't touched it for 120 plus years. Perhaps, with everything going on our planet right now, we need to dust off that old box from the early 1900s, open it back up and look and see what's in there. Steve Forbes warns a big financial crisis incoming. Meanwhile, the Fed raised rates again with the single biggest rate hike in 4 decades. Economists are forecasting that the Fed will panic and pivot, and they're going to start cutting rates again in 2023. Gold's going to soar. That's why Wells Fargo, Bloomberg, Goldman Sachs all forecast gold well above $2,000 an ounce. Ask yourself, do you really think big government's going to stop spending and the Fed's going to stop printing money? Call the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Mention the Adapt 2030 channel when you call. They're going to give you some great service. Patriot Gold Group has a no fee for life IRA, where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold or silver, and you may qualify for the no fee for life IRA. On qualifying rollovers, give them a call, 888-546-7020. to get your free investor guide today. And with the knowledge that Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs top-rated IRA gold dealer for 6 years in a row, it'd be good to talk to them. 888-546-7020. And now on with the video. German power prices soaring to a record as energy crisis deepens. But don't look at any other way to get out of it except traditional supply chains. You're not allowed to do that. German year-ahead power price so stratospheric. German benchmark making all types of news. It is the most unbelievable stratospheric. Oh, record scratch. Wait. New record set just days after. Jumping from 700 to 840 euros per megawatt. That is the equivalent of 500 US dollars per barrel of oil. And if we measure these up, coming into the Bloomberg article stating stratospheric pricing, it moves ahead so quickly, mere days, and we are into economic shattering events here. There's not really a way that these economies can survive when businesses are closing, smelters are closing, refiners are closing, and an enormous amount of factories that cannot afford these prices close. People working in the country are going to spend all of their money on food and energy, and it'll be the tipping point where they can't afford both this winter. This is a recipe for pick your chapter of a history book, and you'll see what happens when hungry people become angry people. Looking into notices for October 1st, increases was 525 euro. Now it's going to be 26.90 euro per kilowatt hour. You can do the math. That's about a 5x. How would it be for you to have a 5x increase in your electricity bill when our gasoline prices have doubled and our food prices are more than doubling and the corn harvest is failing, and now we're going into a complete meltdown across Europe? Exports are going to have a real difficult time coming out of there if it's manufactured or fabricated when they have no power. Not in Germany. German producer prices accelerate 37.2% in July, a fresh record, which they're going to pass that rate along to the consumer. Now, if we look back into the early 1970s, there's nothing remotely close to this chart, which means we are in uncharted territory. So anything can happen. And I done a follow-up to Hungary giving licenses for wood collectors and showing the size of the branches that were allowable under collections to be able to then sell in the market, help people in Hungary have firewood for the upcoming winter so they don't freeze in their homes because they could use their fireplaces. Hungary easing logging even further. Before you had to get a license, I bet they're just saying free for all, go it. Make sure you don't cut anything higher than 6 foot off the ground. But we'll see where this leads. Poland has followed, and now we have Hungary. So we got two countries that are allowing people to collect firewood, and they're encouraging it because they don't want the unrest that will follow in cold homes with no food. Breaking UK CPI, double digits. Now this is some creative accounting right here. Core. X means excluding energy, food, alcohol, and tobacco. Well, everything else in the country has gone up 10.1%, everything. But they left energy and food out because that would skew it to 20%, somewhere around there. It's actually much higher than that if you include food and energy, which everybody needs every day. Oh wait, UK inflation projected to top 18% as gas prices surge. So you'll see why the UK consumer confidence falls to the lowest since 1974. People aren't going to spend money anymore. It's going to be the essentials. And we are talking about yet another major economy. The UK, London, finance, British pound. These prices are going to be eventually into hyperinflation. Now look how much jump there has been in a single month since we got these consumer prices, manufacturing prices, energy prices, gasoline prices, electric prices, and everything else in between. And I can't believe in the CPI they don't count food and energy. Oh wait, they don't do that in America either. So when you see ours running at 8.9%, exclude the energy and the food. And then, if you really add those in, we're going to get a much higher total, the real total, which should be listed. How can you do a CPI print and then not be able to add those to what everybody uses variables inside. See, where we're going to take us into a very strange place. Now, if we're looking at something that happened with hyperinflation in Germany, Austria as well, Zimbabwe, Venezuela, they started very much like this, where things started to go. They're going to have to bring the economy back into a 0 point to reset it, to move us into central bank digital currencies, new issuance of then debt-based instruments that can use to restart the system. Like, everything's in collapse. You should look at China. It's the collapse of all collapses. Their real estate market's far larger than the American real estate market. It is in incredible collapse to the point where they're throwing so much money in and encouraging people to buy second, third, and fourth homes, and it's still not working. So everything's in a free fall. Now, if you're positioned for it, great. Food, energy, security, tools, seeds, metals, friends, community. We'll get through this. It's going to be a moment before we do. But if you're positioned, you'll be able to buy everything for 1/1000th of a cent on the dollar. Not even pennies on the dollar. That would be way too much. Oh, holiday, Southern Italy. I've seen 100 posts, if not even one less, than Airbnb hosts going, I'm going to close it down because it's costing me too much for the electric. Look at the jump from July 2021 to July 2022. That's 120 euro to 979 euro. This is going to start sweeping the globe with the same types of energy increases so quickly, and we'll reflect that with the unrest as food, energy both do this at a 7x increase. We're going to have some serious problems if we can't reel this in together. But see, that's what's needed, a full collapse globally, so then a global unified body can solve the problem, is it not? Let me take you to quote of the day. Electric vehicle charging station, guess the price to charge, 32 cents a minute, $19.20 per hour. Now, these are American prices in the United States. We haven't gotten the runaway hit yet, 7x increase, but imagine multiply these even by 5. And we'll see where it takes you. It takes 8 hours for a full charge, and that's $153.60 for a full charge. That's not from the rapid charging stations. That's plugging in at your house. And most electric vehicles get about 350 miles on a charge. That's 44 cents a mile. So I want to put it in comparison here, just like the author did of this quote. An F-350 pulling a horse trailer gets better mileage. Now should we write uphill in the Himalaya? Exclamation point. And it does seem the collapse that is now happening in real time around us will be viewed by the planet just like this. So understand that you have time and you can weave between those that are distracted so you can prepare. Please do not give up hope. There is an enormous chance for prosperity during these times, and that will allow you to help others as well. We're coming into the largest crash since the Roman Empire. It's begun. It's not beginning now. It has begun. It looks like it's 3 to 4 days into it. And as we come forward, you need to understand the collapse of corn. What they're getting on the crop tours are staggering, is what they're calling this, losses. 40% down on 5 states they've been to in America. USDA had put out the wrong figures. Whole time just to stabilize markets. Well, it went to a 6-week high in a matter of a day after they put out their tour numbers, photos. I'll be doing a video on this next. But as hopeless as it seems, it's not. There are going to be so many that will stick their head in the sand, and I encourage you to go right around them and go get the resources you need to be able to ride through this. Not everybody's going to make it, but I hope you do. This is the information you need to keep you and your family safe. Consider some storable foods a great way to support the channel. My Patriot Supply and Adapt 2030, 25-year shelf life. I do appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.